Magandang gabi mga kaibigan, mga kapatid at mga kababayan. Mahalagang isyu po ang ating tatalakayin ngayong gabi. Ito po ay may kaugnayan sa anti-terrorism law sapagkat kanina lamang po itinakda ng Supreme Court ang oral argument tungkol po sa mga about 37 petitions filed by different groups asking or petitioning the Supreme Court to declare the law unconstitutional. Bakit po? Ano po ba ang essential features nitong anti-terrorism law na nais ipadeklara ng iba't ibang grupo, lalo na po yung mga makakaliwa, yung sinasabi nilang mga human rights advocates. Bakit po? Sapagkat ang objection po, ang primary objection ng mga anti o itong mga nagpetition para ito ay pawalang bisa sapagkat di umano ang sino mang grupo o sino mang tao na pinaghinalaang terorista ay pwedeng arestuhin ng walang warrant of arrest at pwede siyang madetine o ma-detain sa loob ng 14 na araw o higit pa kung kinakailangan nang walang demanda na maipapile sa kanya. So ang ibig po sabihin nila, ito ay unconstitutional because sa ilalim ng ating saligang batas ay bago arestuhin, the general rule is no person can be arrested without warrant of arrest issued by the court. But the judge has to determine personally whether there is a probable cause that the person to be arrested has committed the crime of which he is accused of. Only then that the judge can issue a warrant of arrest, and only then the person can be arrested when there is a warrant. Pero sa ilalim po ng anti-terrorism law o anti-terrorist law, kapag when the Anti-Terrorism Council designated a group or a person to be the terrorist, he can be arrested without warrant. At ito po ang sinasabi nilang unconstitutional. Because in effect, this is a violation of the Constitution. Ngayon, bakit nga ba? Bakit pinapayagan ito? O bakit nagpasa ang Kongreso ng ganitong batas? Sapagkat po, katulad po ng CPP, NPA, NDF, kung saan po sila ay naideklarang mga terorista, katulad ng BI, BIFF halimbawa, alam po natin ang nature ng mga teroristang ito. Ito po ay kaya po nabansagang terorista sapagkat ito po ay pumapatay ng mga inosenteng tao. Nagpapasabog ng bomba sa publiko at marami pong napapatay. So, ang ating pong mga pulis, military nagmamanman. Kung halimbawa po, si Mr. A matagal nang minamanmanan ito ng military at pulis na terorista. Ngunit hindi siya pwedeng hulihin kung walang warrant of arrest. So kung pupunta ang military at pulis sa korte, magpapile muna ng warrant of arrest. At ang proseso po bago ma-issue ang warrant of arrest ay kailangan po pailan mo ito ng kaso sa prosecutor's office. At ang gagawin po ng prosecutor's office, mag-i-issue ng subpoena para sabihin sa respondent, itong kay Mr. A na within 10 days mag-submit ka ng counter affidavit. I-evaluate pa po ng piskal. Pag nalaman ng piskal na may probable cause, saka magpapile ng information sa korte. Only then that the court can issue warrant of arrest. At kung sa tingin pa nga ng judge, hindi kumbinsido ang judge, sa findings ng fiscal, pwede pa rin ang judge ay mag-conduct na sarili niyang investigasyon. So, under ordinary circumstances po, yung suspected terrorist na yan, kung dadaanin po sa ganong proseso na hindi siya pwedeng arestuhin kung walang warrant, ang epekto po niyan, unang-una, he could have killed many people. He could have caused damages to properties, to lives and properties. Bakit? Kasi sa halip na hulihin mo na, the police cannot arrest him. Because of sinasabing kailangan mo ng warrant of arrest. Isang lugar na pinaghinalaan mong kuta ng mga terorista, may mga bombang nakaimbak. Hindi mo pwedeng pasukin na walang search warrant. Kailangan mag-apply ka muna ng search warrant. So bago mo isa gawin, nakatakas na. Naitakas na yung mga kontrabando, mga bomba. Yung tao na matagal mong surveillance, nakatakas na. So paano mo mapipigilan ang mga terorista sa pagpatay at paggawa ng mga ganitong mga pagpapasabog kung hindi mo agad ito huhulihin? Ito po ang purpose ng anti-terrorism law. Ngayon po yung sinasabi nilang pwedeng abusuhin ng pulis, ng military. Kaya nga po may Anti-Terrorism Council na siyang magsasabi na itong itong grupo na ito ay terorista. Iyang tao na ay sige terorista, pwede nyo nang hulihin. Ang purpose po niyan upang any police or military officer cannot just arrest any person by his own discretion. Ang gagawin po niya, based on surveillance, marami silang mga ebidensyang nakuha, isasubmit niya sa Anti-Terrorism Council for the council to evaluate whether indeed there is a sufficient evidence to prove based on the evidence submitted by the military and police kung meron po talagang probable cause. Actually po wala naman pong pagkakaiba. Because under the present setup, ang nag-investigate ng probable cause para mag-file sa court and for the court to issue a warrant of arrest is the prosecutor. Ang chairman po ng Anti-Terrorism Council is the DOJ Secretary. The prosecutor is under the DOJ. So, in other words, yung mga safety nets na-evaluate na ng council. The police and the military is not given personal discretion. Katulad ng sinasabi ng mga petitioner na the police by their subjective judgment can just arrest any person whom they believe is a terrorist. Hindi po totoo yan. Because before the police, before the military can designate, actually they have no power to designate, it is for the council. And the council should evaluate based on evidences presented by the military or police officer, which evidences have been accumulated by their long-time surveillance of the suspected terrorist. Ang pagkakaiba lang po dito, secret ang proseso. Sapagkat pag pinaalam mo yan, hindi mo mahuli yan. Makakatakas yan. At bago pa nila maisagawa, ang purpose dito is preventive. To prevent the terrorist to kill, to cause damages to their intended victim. Ito po ang purpose nito. Mapigilan sa paggawa ng anumang pagtatangka ng pagpapasabog, pagpatay ng maramihan. Itong mga pinaghinalaang terorista. Ngayon, kaya nila sinasabi sapagkat wala silang tiwala sa mga polis at military, baka abusuhin. Napaka-illogical naman po na mas magtitiwala tayo sa mga terorista kaysa mga military at police. That would be very much illogical. Ngayon, kung wala silang tiwala, wala po tayong magagawa. In the first place, bakit sila matatakot na paghinalaan sila ng pulis at military kung wala silang ginagawa? Kung totoong wala silang ginagawa. They are not, for instance, affiliated with the NPA. Bakit sila matatakot? Sasabihin nila sapagkat ang purpose ng military ay ng anti-terrorism law is to designate these people critical of the government. Pwede silang hulihin. Basta-basta lang. Hindi po totoo yan. Hindi totoo yan. Under ordinary circumstances, kung wala po silang ginagawa. Ngayon, anyway, kung assuming na may pang-abuso, the court is still functioning. They can file a case against these people. Kung halimbawa, hinuli yan ng military, ay di mag-file sila ng habeas corpus para palabasin yan. Hindi naman po napipigilan, hindi naman suspended ang mga karapatan natin under the Constitution, under the Bill of Rights, because of the effectivity of this anti-terrorism law. Assuming Mr. A was suspected by the police to be a terrorist, and indeed the Anti-Terrorism Council ordered the police to arrest him. But assuming that the Mr. A is not really a terrorist, then Mr. A or any of his representative can just file before the court a habeas corpus petition para mailabas nila si Mr. A. Ngayon, sabihin mo, kasi may under the law, he can be detained for 14 days. So what? What is 14 days? Kung talaga namang iniimbestigahan pa ng mga pulis at military. Talagang there can be no perfect operation abelo. Talagang may magsasakripisyo. At ano mo yung 14 days na isasakripisyo ni Mr. A? Assuming that's for the government, through the military and police, to be assured that Mr. A could not kill, could not destroy, could not cause damages to property, could not kill a lot of people by bombing a public place. Alam po natin, mga kababayan, yung sobrang kalayaan na sinasabi nitong mga human rights lawyers ko, no? Ito po ang nagpapasira sa ating lipunan. Ito po ang dahilan kung bakit hindi tayo umuunlad. Malumang tugtugin na po yan. Itong mga ilang militante na mga affiliated sa CPP, NP, NDF, sila po ang naggagalaite dito sa anti-terrorism, sa anti-terrorist law. Sapagkat takot sila sa kanilang anino. Ang ibig nilang sabihin dito, idektaram ito na itong anti-terrorism law sapagkat wala kaming tiwala sa pulis at military. Pwedeng gamitin itong batas na ito para ikulong yung mga critics of the government. Ito lang ang kanilang pinagbabasyan. Pero wala silang pakialam sa katotohanan na mayroong tagalagang mga terorista na nambobomba, nangaambos itong mga CPP, NPA. At hindi ito basta mahuhuli kung mahirapan ang ating military at pulis na hulihin ito o pigilan sa kanilang balak na paggawa ng pagpatay, panununog, pagsira sa mga properties kung wala po itong anti-terrorism law or anti-terrorist law. Ito pong anti-terrorist law is preventive action on the part of the government to prevent any suspected terrorist to cause loss of lives and properties of the Filipino society by immediately arresting him before he could do something. Ito po ang purpose. Ang sinasabi po ng mga petitioner, before he could be arrested, there should be warrant of arrest issued against him. If that would be the case, marami pong mamamatay, marami pong masisira ng mga properties. Ang mangyayari lang po, lagi tayong, we cannot do any preventive act against the terrorist. Ang mangyayari na lang, pag nakagawa na sila ng krimen, saka huhulihin. Kasi saka magkakaroon ng warrant, kailangan mo nang idemanda sila, magkaroon ng preliminary investigation, then the court has to issue warrant of arrest, saka palang mahudadampot. Pero marami na po silang napatay ng mga kababayan natin inosente. Marami na po silang nasirang mga properties. Bakit? Hindi po natin sila napigilan. Samantalang with this anti-terrorism law, anti-terrorist law, suspected ka palang pwede ka nang hulihin, pwede ka nang pigilin. At ang magsasabi na yan nga ay terrorist, hindi yung basta police, hindi basta yung military, the Anti-Terrorism Council. Halimbawa, katulad po ng CPP, NP, NDF, dineklara ng Anti-Terrorism Council na yan ay terorista. Only din that the police can operate against them even without warrant. Pero hindi naman po ibig sabihin na pagka nahuli na sila, hindi na sila sasambahan ng kaso. Ang sinasabi nga, they can be detained for 14 days. And what is the purpose of 14 days? Of course, for the military to prepare the necessary documents for the filing of cases in court habang nakadetain sila. Yan po ang purpose. So, ibig sabihin po, still, the accused is given a due process. Anyway, pag isinampa ang kaso sa korte, pag na-evaluate ng korte at na-desisyon na ng korte na walang probable cause, pwede siyang palayain. Ngayon, may isang petition doon na sinasabi, hindi na mababayaran ang sino mang na-detain. Wala na po sa anti-terrorism. In the exercise of the police power of the state, no compensation can be had against any person adversely affected by it. Alam naman natin yan. Alam ng mga lawyer yan. So, ano po yung kanilang kasasama ng loob dyan? Ang mahalaga po dito yung prevention of the public. Hindi po prevention ng ilang mga tao dyan na militante na talaga namang affiliated sa makakaliwang grupo. Pero yung ordinaryong mamamayan, hindi po totoo yan na sila po ay magiging biktima ng anti-terrorist law. On the contrary, ito pong mga inosenteng mamamayan ay maproprotektahan po sapagkat pinaghihinalaan pa lamang pwede na po siyang damputin. And this is the essence of anti-terrorism law. At ito ang sinasabi lang unconstitutional. Wala po tayong magagawa dyan. It cannot be unconstitutional to do everything to prevent damages for the safety of the lives and property of the people. Whereas the Constitution is there to protect the lives and properties as well as the rights of the people. And the anti-terrorist law, subject of the petition for nullification, is aimed at protecting the public from the terrorist attack. Hindi po kailangang hintayin muna nating mangyari na yung mga pag-aatake bago pa natin ipahuli ang mga terorista. Illogical po yon. Kaya itong mga nagpipetition na sinasabi nila, hypothetical po yung kanilang basehan. Haka-haka. Samantalang ito po ay katotohanan na talagang yung mga terorista ay nagpapasabog sa publiko. At para po maiwasan yan, bago pa nila maisagawa ang kanilang balak, dapat mahuli na sila. At mahuhuli lamang po yan kung ang Estado ay is armed with this law, anti-terrorist law. Ito po ang purpose why Congress enacted it into law and approved by the President. Because we want to protect the public from the terrorist attack. Useless po yung mga surveillance, yung mga ginagawa ng military. Kung kahit alam mo na ito ay nagbabalak umatake, may bubumbay, hindi mo siya pwedeng hulihin kasi walang warrant of arrest. Bago po mo, pagkatapos siya magpasabog, maraming namatay, 20. Saka pa lamang siya ididimanda at saka pa lang mag-i-issue ng warrant of arrest. At saka pa lang siya hulihin, useless na po. Useless na. Samantalang kung itong tao na ito suspected based on evidences and the Anti-Terrorism Council said, so go ahead with this evidence, okay, tama. So you go ahead, arrest him immediately. Dito po ang ano po dito is the time element. This is the essence of the law. The time element involved in securing the order to arrest. If it should be actually po, bakit hindi magiging under the Constitution? It says there that only the judge can issue warrant of arrest or search warrant. So much so that any other agency issuing warrant or search warrant to that effect is unconstitutional. Kaya nga po ang Anti-Terrorism Council, they are not actually issuing warrant of arrest or search warrant. They are just there to designate who are the persons considered to be terrorists, and therefore as such they are deemed to have committed a crime all the time. So in effect, they fall within the ambit of the warrantless arrest. What circumstances under which a person can be arrested without warrant? One, if he caught in the act of committing a crime. Second, if he is about to commit a crime. And third, he has just committed a crime and the arresting officer has personal knowledge that the person to be arrested has committed a crime. So itong mga terorista po is about to commit a crime. Bago po siya makagawa ng crime, pwede na siyang arestuhin. Eh bakit kailangan mo na dumaan sa Anti-Terrorism Council for him to be designated as terrorist? Para nga po maiwasan yung sinasabing subjective discretion on the part of the arresting officer na basta na lang niya huluhin ang tao. Ito, mukhang terrorist na ito, hulihin ko na. No. Ang safety nets po dyan, dumaan ka sa Anti-Terrorist Council. Ako, police, meron ako sinurveillance yan. Itong Mr. A, talagang yung activities na terrorist. So I have my evidence. Pupunta ko sa Anti-Terrorism Council with my evidence here. Sir, ito po, si Mr. A, pinaghinalaan pong mukha pong terorista ito. Sabi ng Anti-Terrorism Council, bakit? Ano ebidensya mo? Eh kasi ganito. Ito po, ito yan. Okay. Tama, terorista nga yan. Sige. Hulihin yan bago pa makapanakit. Bago pa mag-cause ng damages. Pero halimbawa si Mr. A, sabi ng Anti-Terrorism Council, saan ebidensya mo? Ito po. Hindi. Hindi sapat yan. Kulang pa yan. Dagdagan mo mga ebidensya mo. At this point in time, hindi mo pa siya pwedeng hulihin. Wala pang designation order ang Anti-Terrorism Council. Sapagkat po, pag nag-order ang Anti-Terrorism Council na itong tao na to si Mr. A ay terrorist, he is considered as having committed a crime all the time or he is about to commit a crime anytime as a terrorist. So, he falls within the category of warrantless arrest and therefore constitutional. Constitutional po. Sapagkat mayroon po tayong as a matter of an exception to the general rule. The law provides also under the rules of court that a person can be arrested without warrant. Ito po ang Anti-Terrorism Council. Ito po yung anti-terrorist law. Kaya hindi po ito unconstitutional. Hindi naman po warrant at hindi naman search warrant ang ini-issue ng Anti-Terrorism Council, designation order na nagkakategorize. Ngayon, yung sinasabi ng isang lawyer, narinig natin, under the international law, yung designation na yan is a judicial process. It will be for the court to designate. Pag ganun po, it will frustrate the essence of the anti-terrorism law. Sapagkat the court will not designate without the other party being heard. He has to be accorded with his due process. At pagdalaman niya na nakatakas na yan, paano mamahuli ang terrorist? If we have to go to court. Take note that the essence of being with the court is the right to due process of every person being accused. Dito sa Anti-Terrorism Council, ex parte talaga yan. Ibig sabihin, without the alleged terrorist given the opportunity to be heard, para hindi niya maalam, sinusurveillance mo nga eh. Kasi ang activities ng secret. So, ang military activities, secret din. But to avoid subjective discretion on the part of the arresting officer, kailangan dumaan muna siya sa Anti-Terrorist Council as a safety net na hindi naman basta-basta itong sundalo at pulis na to based on discretion manghuhuli ng basta nalang pinaghinalaan nilang terorista. Kailangan dumaan sa council for proper evaluation. Anyway po, tingnan natin kung ano ang magiging conclusion dito ng Supreme Court. Sapagkat, right or wrong, once the Supreme Court decided, then that will be so. Wala rin naman po tayong magagawa. Kaya hintayin po natin. And whatever the decision of the Supreme Court on the matter, we will definitely be abiding. Wala po tayong magagawa dyan. The government has to follow. Ngayon, assuming the decision in favor of its being constitutional, papasalamat po tayo sapagkat magiging we would feel protection by the state with this anti-terrorist law. But assuming the decision will be negative, wala po tayong magagawa. Mayroon talaga tayong mga kababayan na ganoon ang paniniwala. At kung sila isusustay ng Supreme Court, good for them. Sorry for us. Thank you, good night, and we request on as a token of support, subscribe po yung ating YouTube channel. Ang ating paninindigan sa napapanahong issue ng lipunan. Again, thank you and good night.